Cool, I think we're live. Great, guys. Can you let me know, please, for those of you that are watching, that if you can see me okay, hear me okay before we get into it? I'd really appreciate that. Let's make sure, because I had some audio issues before we started, so hopefully it's working now. I'll just wait for it to come in. I'll wait for some more people to join as well. Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. Just waiting for some responses on the chat to make sure we're good to go. Yeah, great. Okay, cheers, Vince. Appreciate it. Right, guys, so we're doing this live stream today. I want to give some guidance to those of you that are looking to secure maybe your first position on board a yacht or your already experienced crew, and how to maximize your chances. Because from experience, a lot of crew are making mistakes and not doing enough to secure a position, a position on board. Just sorry, guys, one moment. Right, sorry about that, chaps. As I was saying, that no, there's they do make a lot of mistakes. But before we get into it, on Friday, the 1st of April, I've teamed up with Blue Water Crew in on Antibes, and we'll be doing a meet and greet. And I know it's April Fools, but it's not a fool's joke. We'll be in on Antibes. The time and location is yet to be confirmed. I will be posting it on Instagram once we've secured the location and we know that we've agreed with the time. So if you're not following us on Instagram already, I will be putting a story on, for a few stories leading up to the event. So I'll just put a link to our Instagram account on the chat. So be sure to follow us, and then you'll be able to see the updates for the meet and greet in on Antibes. So let me just put that here. Here we go. And yeah, that will be again Friday the 1st of April in the afternoon. Great. Okay, so first of all, we'll need to get into the certification. So for those of you looking for jobs, you've probably done the basic, what we call the basic STCW, basic safety training. For the deck side, you've probably done a powerboat level 2 and maybe a few deckhand courses. So what you got to remember is everybody else, seeking that position has also got the bare minimum certificates. So the more certificates, the more training you have, you're essentially increasing your chances of securing a position. So for example, if you do what we call the zero to hero yacht master, you're increasing your chances. If you have your dive master, any kind of dive certificates, you're increasing your chances. Even these days, yachts are looking for crew that have maybe camera or drone experience because they want to get footage for their charter guests. Some cases we've had kiteboarding instructors and water sports instructors. So the more certification, the more experience, the more knowledge you come with when applying for the job, it's all about increasing your chances. There is a lot of candidates out there that come in with the bare minimum. They do secure jobs, but by having the bare minimum, you're greatly reducing your chances. All right. The other thing as well, what's very critical, where a lot of candidates make a lot of mistakes, is when a captain or head of department posts a job, whether it be on maybe on a crew agency, on Facebook pages, things like that, and they put down the criteria that you need to meet. Make sure you have everything that is being requested, that you meet all the criteria. Okay, when we've posted jobs in the past on Facebook groups, more than half the candidates didn't meet the criteria that we requested, and there's a reason we are requesting that. And when you do that, we have to go through the CVs and through all the emails. You're wasting our time. And what we do with those CVs and emails, we just delete them because you're not taking care or not taking consideration the time we have to put in when searching for new crew. So only apply to the jobs where you meet all the criteria. Okay. So again, going back to the Facebook groups, a lot of crew, they think they just, join all the crew agencies, upload their CV, their qualifications, and that's it. And they check in once a week or whatever it might be. And so many people that have messaged me have asked, well, I've done all the agencies. I've still not got any job offers. I'm applying to everything. That's not enough. It's not enough. You need to do more. So my suggestion is join all the yachting Facebook groups, like on TB Yacht Crew, Palmer Yacht Crew, Fort Lauderdale Yacht Crew. There are dozens of them. Join them all. Be proactive. Be checking them frequently. And by frequently, I mean multiple times a day, not once or twice a week. Just because you apply for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs, it doesn't matter because you've already got 100 other people applying for those exact same jobs, right? So be sure that you are doing that. Just because you've done the courses, it doesn't mean you deserve a position on board a yacht. It is very difficult and there's a lot of competition out there. And going back to what I said earlier, always increase your chances by having as many certificates, as much training, as much knowledge as possible when applying for these positions online. Okay. Again, do join the crew agencies, but we need to remember is for all new yacht crew coming in, the first thing they all do after they've done their courses is join all the crew agencies. They start to all the crew agencies. And again, so you got a lot of competition, right? A lot of yachts, I would say probably most yachts won't use crew agencies for green or new crew. In the past, I've used crew agencies for more experienced and skilled specific crew, like, engineers, chefs, those kind of crew members on board. For green crew, we've only done really posts on social media because we know there's a lot of candidates looking for work. Another big mistake a lot of crew make is when they do apply for a job and they send an email with their CV. Essentially, in the email, all they write is the job reference in the subject, and it says something like, please see attached. And they've just sent their CV and their references. There's no covering letter, no, dear Captain, I've seen your job posted on Facebook. I believe I'm a great candidate. Here's a little bit about myself. By doing those little touches, by having a write-up in an email, it shows that you care about the job. You're not just applying hoping for the best. You're giving a little explanation about yourself, a little bit to why you're applying for the job. When I get an email and the candidate hasn't even bothered to write anything, a covering letter or anything in the email, I'll just delete it. I won't even read it. I won't even open the CV because this shows to me a lack of professionalism and a lack of care. Now, some of you may find this quite harsh, but this is the reality, and I'm not the only one that thinks this way. So, be sure, and I understand you're probably applying to hundreds of jobs, but maybe have a template, and just change the name at the top. Be proactive about it. When it comes to your CV, right? Now, the CV, every captain and crew agencies has their preferences, okay? From my experience, when I'm looking at CVs, I want to keep it short and sweet, okay? I know within about 20 seconds of reading somebody's CV, if I want to call them or have a video call or an interview to get more information, right? Keep it sweet. Try and keep your CV to a page, okay? Focus on your certification, focus on your experience, your references. In your objectives at the top, normally it's at the top underneath the photograph, try and avoid things like you've got a love for the sea or you're passionate about the ocean, because every candidate is writing the exact same thing, and it's just captains like myself and heads of departments, we just roll our eyes back. Be honest about it. To explain why you want to get into yachting. Don't say you're passionate about the sea. What is your objective of getting into yachting? Because it is a career, it is a professional industry. We want to know why. And being passionate about the sea, everybody's passionate about the sea that applies to these jobs. So just think about that. Try and be as original as possible and try to stand out. And keep your CV short and sweet. Okay. Again, your CV layout should be pretty straightforward. You need to photograph your name, nationality, any visas, driving license, the usual stuff, your objectives, your certification, and your experience. That's all you need to have in there. Now, you might get different opinions from other people and other agencies, but that's the way I prefer it. Okay, the next thing really is, again, a lot of candidates, they'll just apply to jobs and they complain that they're not getting phone calls or not getting any responses. Just look at what you're sending. Is it captivating? If you were the employer, would you want to read your own CV or read your own email? What else are you doing? Are you just applying to the jobs? How proactive are you being? Another great way of securing a position, now that it's easier, now COVID's over, is getting to a yachting capital like Antibes, for example, and going to a crew house, signing to a crew house and going dock walking. So dock walking essentially means you're going port to port, boat to boat, trying to hand out your CV, trying to find jobs, speaking to people, speaking to crew, captains, agencies, and just being there with your feet on, foot on the ground in the countries where when there's most yachting. And don't just do the ports. You can go to the shipyards that allow you to go in. Because a lot of yachts, especially this time of the year, they go into the shipyard to get prepared for the season. And a lot of them will need help with things like polishing, sanding teak decks, preparing the boat essentially ready for the charter season here in the Med. So do things like that as well. A lot of crew, they come in, you'll get a lot of no's. A lot of people saying no, turn you down. You might find some crew or captains come across as quite rude. Don't let that deter you though. Just keep going. Eventually you'll find somebody or a boat that does need help. But at the same time, whilst you are doing the dock walking, if you see that crew are very busy doing a particular job, try to avoid calling them down or shouting up at them to come and talk to you. Wait maybe for a bit. If they're having a tea break or they've stopped work or they're pretty chatting, maybe then call them. Because what's difficult is when you are in the working zone, when you're in the zone you're working, what you need to understand is pre-season, there's a lot of dock walkers coming to the boat. So in some cases, you're getting 10, 15, 20 dock walkers, and you imagine it's, interrupting the workflow. So think about that, as well, right? The other mistake a lot of crew make when they're doing the dock walking coming to Antibes is I understand it. A lot of these crew come in that are young and it's a new country and they want to go and socialize. But drinking does tend to be a bit of an issue. I've employed dock walkers in the past, and in the morning they've rocked up to the boat, probably still under the influence of alcohol or hungover. You can smell it on them, and I've told them to get off the boat, that the job's not theirs, anymore. So don't be in the bars every night. Be the first ones on the docks, in the mornings. Be the last ones to leave. It's not going to be given to you, this job. You got to fight for it, and you got to be determined. I'll give you an example. The deckhand we employed last year really actually inspired me. Andre, he told me his whole story. He had worked a job. He'd been watching the videos been doing on YouTube, and he saw motor yacht Ulysses somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. And since he saw that yacht, he wanted to work on yachts. So he saved up loads of money. He did all his courses he could possibly do, just smashing out all the courses. He was spending a lot of money, which to me showed a lot of determination. He sent through his CV for the position, and we started talking. and I had, I think, maybe 7 or 8 other candidates, and I knew within the first minute or two, and the interviews go on for about an hour, I knew within the first minute or two he was going to be the one that we were going to employ, because he showed so much determination, showed knowledge about the industry. He'd done his homework. Although he watched the videos on YouTube, he'd done his homework about AWOL, the way it charters, the type of clientele, the way the boat operates, which shows to me a level of professionalism, that he cared, that he really wanted the job. Okay, you got to understand this industry is a professional industry. If you're just here, just a job on the side, make some money, then leave, you're probably not going to find yourself a very good boat to work on. Okay, so those are pretty much the main points, main advice that I would give. Persistency, determination. It's not going to be given to you. You got to go and fight for it and prove yourself to get to secure a position on board any super yacht. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, guys, I'll go over to the Q&A. If any questions or any bits of advice, then just ask in the questions here and I'll answer if I can. All right, let's have a look here. So it's Oh yes, just if you're just joining us on Friday the 1st of April, doing a meet and greet in Antibes, partner up with Blue Water Training. Time and location is yet to be confirmed, but do follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting on Instagram where the location is and the time once I know. I'm hoping to know by beginning of next week. So in the Instagram page is Super Yacht Captain 1. So Robert says, "Hi Tristan from London. I'm 72 years old. Have I left it too late?" Rob, it depends how you feel. Are you energetic? I think you should do it if you can. Have you heard of the Super Yacht Cadetship, a 4-year course from UKSA? That's from Jay. I have heard of it. I can't say, Jay, that I know much about it. There's I've noticed a few organizations trying to do cadetships. The difficulty with cadetship is quite tricky, as onboard yachts, not so much the giga yachts, more the super yachts, the availability for space for crew, so bunks in other words, is very limited. So we need to meet what's called the safe manning document, which is a documentation that's issued by the flag state stating what crew you need to have on board and what certification each of those crew members need to have. So, cadetships on board, I've been asked multiple times by people if they could do cadetship on board, but we just didn't have the availability to do it. What stands out to you on a CV when you are hiring? So again, things like what stands out is if you're a water sports instructor, if you not the usual typical certification that everybody has, like, again, basic safety training, your ENG1, that's not really a certificate. It's just a medical thing. Powerboat level 2. If you come to me and you say, we've got, drone flying experience, I'm a qualified diver, I'm a qualified water ski instructor, water sports instructor, those kind of things stand out. So Christopher, hi Jay, I'm on the cadetship. Okay, so Christopher, how's the cadetship going? Let us know. Do you think ethnicity has a big role in the hiring process? Do certain ethnicities have more advantage than others? This is actually a very interesting question. This actually comes up a lot. So in my years, I've posted jobs online, right? There is certainly a dominance of certain ethnicities that are applying for jobs. The other thing is equality between sexes. Before we employed Slav, our engineer, I did a post for the job as engineer on a group. I can't remember the group. It was like women in engineering and deck. It's a Facebook group, and I posted it I think 2 or 3 times. This is a few years ago now, and you know what? I didn't get a single response. I didn't get a single email. And the moment I posted a job on the other yachting groups, I got dozens of applications. So I think in a lot of cases, we want to ensure there is certainly diversity, but unfortunately, from my experience, the candidates, aren't applying for those particular roles. And at the end of the day, we're going to employ the best people for the job. So ethnicity doesn't matter, in my point of view. If you're the right person, you stand out, you got the qualifications, and you're above the rest, I'm going to employ you. It's the same, for example, when I hired Barbara, who was a chief officer for, I think, 3 or 4 years, the fact also, that she was a woman didn't make any difference to me. She was the best person for the job. She was determined. She was very hardworking. She proved herself. Yeah. And she she worked with us all those years. So no issues at all. Christopher, it's all going really well. So Christopher's doing the cadetship at UKSA. I have now opted to convert to OW Unlimited. That's a good call, Christopher. I respect that. The great thing about going your OW Unlimited route is you're not limiting to the 3,000 gross ton. So eventually, Christopher could become a master on board a vessel. Well, not like Dilbar, because that's now been arrested, but one of the bigger giga yachts. Is there a big difference between Yachtmaster Offshore and Yachtmaster Ocean if you are going to apply to a position? Yes, certainly. Andre's just done his Yachtmaster Ocean. The Yachtmaster Ocean, it's more, you have to a long passage. You have to do an ocean passage and do your sights and understand how to use a sextant, so do celestial navigation. But a Yachtmaster Ocean would definitely stand, out from the Yachtmaster Offshores. Again, going back to what I said initially, it's all about increasing your chances. Not one thing that's going to increase your chances. It's a selection of things that will increase your chances of securing a position on board a yacht. Andre is now doing well on board multi-yacht Latitude, I hear. So Andre has actually now left Latitude. That was a temporary position. He is now on a vessel, I believe, in Montenegro. Do you have any favorite memories of being on AWOL? Favorite memories? I think one of the most satisfying memories we did. So we had AWOL for a year, and then we went to attend what's called the MIBA boat show in Barcelona. Now MIBA is the organization that set up all the charter contracts and help out with the sales as well, all their contracts. And they do a boat show every year for the new charter yachts or up and coming charter yachts, things like that. And we attended it for the first time with AWOL. And every year they do a competition. They do a table setting competition, a chef competition, a meet and greet competition. And we entered all 3 competitions, thinking nothing of it. It was going to be our first year of chartering. And leading up to the competitions and to the show, we really sat down, we brainstormed with all the crew, how are we going to do this, how are we going to stand out from the rest? And we put on an incredible display, and the chef, James, really outdid himself. And at the end of the show, they do the awards ceremony. So it's like, must have been 50 to 100 crew, all, yacht brokers. And so then they started announcing our category. And they said, okay, winner of meet and greet, most yacht AWOL. And it's like, oh, it's amazing, great. So we're all happy. Winner of the table setting competition, most yacht AWOL. Chef competition, most yacht AWOL. We absolutely smashed it. And we were the first boat in MEBA boat show history to win all 3 competitions. That was a very good memory. I was so proud of all the crew because they did work. They worked very hard for that. So that was a good memory. This may seem shallow, but how do age, looks, and physique play into the hiring process? So over the years, I've hired people personally of all ages. I've had engineers in their, in their 60s. When it comes to, your physique, for me, what's really important is that you need to be fit and healthy, because working on a yacht, it is very, not only mentally demanding, it is physically demanding. The beds are quite small. So, hiring larger people is very tricky. And also, like from deckhands' point of view, sometimes they're helping out engineers. They're going down to tight, well, you've seen on AWOL, the tight bilges, under engines, cleaning. So they need to be able to complete all these tasks. So yeah, physique is important. Your health is very important. You need to have a good appearance. I think when you are in the service industry, whether it be on yachts or even working in a restaurant, you need to have a good appearance. You need to be well presented. So it is important. I wouldn't say it from a shallow point of view. Don't get me wrong. There are yachts out there, I know of them, that do hire purely based on looks. But don't go believing that that's all the yachts, because that's simply not the case. Considering the current crisis with crews being fired on Russian-owned yachts, is it going to be hard for greenies to find a job on a super yacht? I don't think it will. The yachting industry in the last 2 years, the sales has absolutely blown up. There is a shortage of yacht crew, and I think the yacht crew that are sadly losing their jobs on these Russian-owned yachts will balance out the demand. So it could be a good thing. Do you stay in touch with Yuri from the yacht transporter ship? No, we don't. With Misha, occasionally on Instagram, we'll like comment things on Instagram, but not Yuri. Are you in touch with your former crew? Yep, in touch with Harry quite frequently. He was the chase boat captain not last season, the few seasons before. He's running a Winter of Luxury, which is a ski chalet in Courchevel, AWOL, a Winter of Luxury. Actually, go and follow them on Instagram if you want. Go and check out, see what Harry's doing. He is living the dream in Courchevel, skiing every day. So good on him. Jason, we were messaging, was it last week, updating each other. So yeah, stay in touch with some of the crew. But also, I think life just happens, right? So we all move on and, start new things. Any more questions related to securing your first job on board a yacht, how to approach things? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I said that you didn't know before we started this live stream? If you are crew looking for work, then do let me know. Okay, cool, guys. Great. I think then, what time is it? Yeah, great. It's been half an hour, so I think that's good. Scott, I'm a truck driver of 35 years in the US. Would my qualifications as a truck driver help me to be a captain? Scott, 100%. There's a lot of similarities between operating a super yacht and a truck. Yeah, easy. You'll get a job easy. You don't even need to get a captain's license. Just go to any boat. They'll hire you in a heartbeat. Hi, Captain. Just joining in. Any advice on green crew going to Antibes in May? Sorry if you already covered it. Yep. Is that Arn? Is that Arnie or Arn? So Arn, yeah, I covered it at the beginning of the live stream, to go back and watch it. If you're coming in May, it's a shame because you're just going to miss. I'm doing a meet and greet in Antibes on the 1st of April. Is there anything particular regarding engineers that you haven't covered regards Decky? Engineers. So that's a good one. So engineers is interesting. I do get a lot of commercial engineers looking to get into yachting that do struggle, and it's pretty much the same thing. Also, the commercial guys getting into yachting, the officers saying they can't find jobs as officers, because the reason being is running a super yacht to working on a commercial ship, for the merchant navy, it's very different. The operation is very different. Okay, things like navigation are the same. But if you've got no experience, because most of the officers, they have duties to do on deck. So if you have no experience with things like, polishing the cleaning products, teak maintenance, varnishing, stainless steel, the usual exterior jobs, you're going to struggle to find a job on a super yacht. Because the eye for detail on board super yachts is way, way, way above what they do on the merchant vessels. And working on the super yachts is a lot more team-orientated work. Whilst I was spending my time doing the Atlantic crossing on board the transport ship, it was quite interesting watching the guys operate and how they work and how they interact with each other. They have set schedules, so they'll start their job. They'll start at 8 o'clock. And they'll do the 8 hours, and then they're finished. And so they're schooled to think that way. Whereas in yachting, your schedule's all over the place. You're required to help out in different departments. So the culture on board is very different. So a lot of the commercial guys, when they come to the yachting world, they have a certain expectation, and it's completely different. So that's probably why I would say that the commercial guys struggle a bit more to get jobs on board super yachts. Jay, have you come across the super yacht cadetship? I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it. Is there any demand for delivery vessels, bring stuff for things like excuse me, repairs, supplies on water, support yachts, let's say an example, Mediterranean area? I don't really understand the question, but there's certainly positions for deliveries when vessels are coming. So a lot of yachts that are finishing the seas in the Caribbean that come into the Med, while the boat's crossing, a lot of the crew go on leave, and a lot of the yachts will hire what's called delivery crew. Another job. And yes, the support vessel industry is certainly growing. I did a video a few weeks ago about Jeff Bezos' support vessel, and so it's definitely a growing market for that. I think it'd be quite a good job, cool job to work on one of those, that's for sure. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of repeat questions, guys. So what I suggest you do, like somebody asked about dot walking. So if you're just joining, I suggest we'll start from the beginning, because I don't want to start repeating myself. So what we'll do, we'll end the live stream there. I wish you all a great evening. Well, it's evening here. If you're in the US, I guess a great afternoon. Thank you for joining. And once again, on April 1st, we'll be doing a meet and greet in Antibes, in partnership with Blue Water Crew. The time and location is to be confirmed. I'll be posting the time and location on my Instagram, which is SuperYachtCaptain1. So be sure to follow us there, and it'll be great to meet some of you. I think we've got already 70 or 80 people signed up, so we need to find quite a big place to find. Anyway, guys, enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that gave some insight and, gave you guys a bit of an understanding how to maximize your possibilities of securing a position on board a boat. Take it easy, guys. I'll do another live stream possibly next week. See you then. Cheers. Ciao, ciao.